Loren!
This past week, I was at CIY Mix with a bunch of middle school students from my church. My sister Autumn, a friend of ours Abby, and myself were the female leaders in charge of 8 girls, and we spent the whole week just playing crazy games and getting covered in paint and mud, singing worship songs until our lungs gave out, and I think that's why I am so super sick right now. But I'm gonna power through and we're gonna do this vlog and it's gonna be great. One of the most important things we did was we learned more about our relationship with God and who we are, how we can find our identity in God. But what I really wanted to talk about during this video was something that has always just puzzled me. When I'm at work and people ask me, hey, what are your plans for the weekend? And I tell them, oh, on Saturday night I'm going to be volunteering at my church's middle school youth group, like usual. They always ask, why? Like, I want to say right back to them, why not? I guess it sort of makes sense because not many people have been exposed to working in youth ministry like my sister and I have. Not to brag or anything, but we're sort of legacies. My parents met each other across the volleyball net. They were from different churches and they were at a summer camp. That passion for youth ministry is sort of one of the things that they've built their marriage on. And so we were like the little kids that would be passed off from student to student. So when I was going into 6th grade, my parents came to me and said, Lauren, we would really love it if we could be involved in youth ministry. We want to know if that's okay with you. I love my parents. I've always really had a good, close relationship with them, so I was like, sure, why not? Doesn't matter to me. And whenever I became a sophomore in high school, the rules kind of changed that if we had a parent that was involved in the ministry, you could volunteer as well. And so I became a youth leader. And I had my first group of 6th grade girls that year, a small group on Wednesday nights, and I had them for their 6th grade year, their 7th grade year, and their 8th grade year. And now what's really super crazy is that group of girls are graduating from college. So here's my original point. Youth ministry is just one of those things that is amazing, and I feel like it's the secret amazing thing that not many people know about. Sure, sometimes the kids can get annoying, and sometimes they're pretty needy and selfish. But do you guys remember what it was like to be in middle school? They are so scared to be themselves. And I love coming along and saying, be yourself. You are beautiful and wonderful and talented. And sure, it's not the best right now, but you're going to become better than this at some point. Like, this is the start of how awesome you're gonna be. And I love being able to say to them that I accept you and love you just the way you are, even though you're super weird and might smell a little bit. Like in middle school, there's so much potential just sitting there, and it's right before the point where they could get really jaded. I feel like when I've volunteered with high schoolers before, it's been very much like, lame much. And so you have the opportunity to catch them and say, no, you can use that potential, and there's a God of the universe that loves you so much, and you can use that potential for His glory and to change the world and make it a better place. Especially since the majority of the world thinks that they're stupid and immature and losers, and why would I want to hang out with that? And sure, there's a lot of middle schoolers where I feel like I have to break them out of their shell. Like, my secret is that I act crazier than crazy. Like, so immature that I've had some students actually say, Lauren, you need to calm down. When I am able to look ridiculous, they feel like they have the freedom to look ridiculous as well. Because normal is so boring. No, I'm not saying parents aren't important in a middle schooler's life. I think they're super important. But during this period of time, like, a lot of kids are starting to become like, you know, my parents are lame, starting to pull away from them. And so it's important sometimes to have somebody who is not a direct family member that is confirming what their parents have been saying the entire time. You could have a parent that's super supportive of their kids, but their kids aren't really going to believe them because that's what my mom's supposed to say about me. What I'm not saying here is that middle school ministry is the only thing that you should be volunteering with. I feel like it's important for each of us to find something to volunteer with, to sort of pay it forward and to help the next generation out. Maybe middle school is just not what you're gifted in, and you shouldn't volunteer with middle schoolers if that is not your passion area. I feel like it's so important for somebody to mentor somebody else. If you aren't doing that, you definitely should. I mean, imagine what the world could be like if each of us took somebody under our wing. How amazing that could be. I would even guarantee you that if you were to volunteer as a mentor, you would not only see just amazing effects in all the people that you touch, but that your life will be better for it. Midweek, Autumn and I were joking about how we would always be doing middle school ministry, and I sort of joked back and said that we would be the blue-haired ladies, and I would literally be a blue-haired lady because I would dye my hair that way, and I would be opening up my house. I would be the little old maid that opens up her house, doesn't just like continue to grow old and surround myself with possessions, but to open up my house, and kids could come over after school, you know, talk about God and talk about life, and I could give them advice and tell them old stories. And the more I like talked about that joke, I started thinking, that isn't that bad of a future. I could really see myself doing that someday, and that's actually pretty awesome. So to those of you who are volunteering for camps this summer, I salute you. Stay hydrated and don't get sick like me. I'm a musical nurse. I'll see you guys next week. Bye!